I come in peace and prosperity. First, we have to realize that with this new annuity, that we are being rated in law and in trading based upon our contract that we have made with our flesh. And I'm saying this because when you look at the term annuity, for instance, and you look at the term annuity, you see the term anu, which in some languages translates to mean the Most High or something to that effect, or a Most High. And I'm bringing this up because they use these words in law and in the investment world and in business to try to cloak the fact that they're dealing with high magic, high metaphysics, dealing with the Kabbalah and certain Babylonian mysteries to send currency out and signals out to not only just on this planet, but to different planets to make transactions and trades with other beings on different planets. And this is important because when they do it this way, this is rating your whole body as a vehicle, as a vessel, as a shell. So, for instance, when I mean rated, what do you control in relationship to your vessel and your body? What, like, even I'm saying even on a sexual level, because everybody likes to say how they're sexually free or liberated, or when they get married they're outside of the laws of being rated sexually. But what do you really control on an economic level when it comes to this contract, based upon how much money is being made off of you when you engage in certain sexual experiences and certain sexual practices? See, this goes away from the annuity. So what happened is that we went and drifted away from the annuity, which creates what's called debt. See, all of this stuff in metaphysics about, karma and things of this nature can translate into the economic world and is being calculated and rated. So a lot of this turns into debt. Like myself, even, we put ourselves into certain situations, and a lot of the knowledge, if we don't use it correctly, turns into debt. If you have a knowledge in your head, information in your head, and you're not sharing this knowledge and information correctly, it can turn into some form of a karmic debt. And that goes for anyone on any level. If you know something and you withhold it, you're holding on to it, and eventually it's going to accumulate debt, which is the opposite of interest, because you're not investing it. So the annuity, the true annuity, represents when you have an idea and something that you're going to stand on, regardless to what they put against you to try to stop you from doing it. When I say they, it's going to come in the form of people in your family, in the form of people in the community, in the form of people in your job, at your workplace. When you come up with something that you want to do, you have an idea that's totally independent, that you believe in yourself. This is an annuity. This is when you're no longer just ciphering or just vibing with life. So now you're like, okay, you like, okay, I have to stand for this every day, and I have to stand for something, and I have to put myself out there in a certain type of way so that I can get certain results back. See, this is why metaphysics is so powerful. This is what I'm talking about with the astrology flag, why it's a little bit different than some of your other mystical orders and things of that nature, because the astrology flag represents the annuity. It's like, okay, so what am I going to do on this world stage? How am I going to demonstrate myself as an individual, and eventually one day be able to spread my ideas so that I can say that I've influenced 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 people. And not only have I influenced these people, but they're making money, and I'm drawing interest or money off of the money that they're making. This is what it's going to kind of come down to for people that are conscious now. Like, people that are conscious now, including myself. I'm speaking of myself, and that's why I'm making this video as a positive, really just positive energy to put it out there. Is like, we're going to have to now move into like a multi-level type of marketing. It's no longer can we just sit on the knowledge and talk about it and how it sounds good and this magical, mystical knowledge, and then allow these other beings that are really just clones, ETs, to come out and use this knowledge and enslave us with it though. Enslave us with it through just viewing you and trading off of you and forcing you to go work, or forcing you to go have to go pay that car note, or forcing you to have to go, and go buy that thing on credit card when you can't just go pay cash for it, or forcing you to make financial decisions that you don't understand because you done bought a house and signed off on something that you done paid 2 or 3 times the amount that you shouldn't even have paid for it because you didn't know you was tied into certain land grants and treaties. See what I'm saying? Like, so it's a lot of annuities that need to take place in the spiritual community first, so that we can, of course, start with ourselves and be true to ourselves and begin to demonstrate our true qualities that are in our heart, our true qualities that are in our heart, and our true goals that we've set for ourselves. But for some reason, we don't want to come out of the comfort zone of saying, hey, this is what I'm going to stand on. This is the cipher that I'm standing on, and I'm representing an annuity. And I realized that my flesh and everything I took on is not me. See, that's what you have to realize too as well. Like, your flesh is a part of a contract. You have to realize that. So like, your flesh, what I'm saying is that you are kind of like renting, or this is what's called like a negotiable instrument. Actually, is what the correct terminology of what I would call your flesh. Your flesh is what's called a negotiable instrument, meaning that it's a form of a tool to trade, and to demonstrate, and to make profit off of, and it's really actually a part of your being, your character as well, in your mind. This is really what you're supposed to be making a profit off of, but you're supposed to be doing this independently. Why are we allowing companies to do this and make billions of dollars off of different individuals? I'm talking about one or two individuals making billions and billions of dollars off of small amounts of people controlling large amounts of people. It's because the annuity. It's not just because the knowledge. See, we have certain knowledge, but are we willing to every day? See, the number one represents, are you willing to stand up every day on your circle and demonstrate yourself and distinguish yourself from the flow of the world? And this represents an annuity because they have to respond to that. It's kind of like tennis. It's like you putting the ball in that person's court. They have to hit the ball back to keep the game going. So this is an annuity versus going along with what you think is right, which really is a part of a programming. And that's what I'll get into when we get into the number two and different numbers. These are different magical programs. Once you get past the annuity, see, the annuity is first. And what they did was, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut down. They took us out of the annuity quickly in the 50s, when people was getting more of their individual and the hippie eras. And those times, it moved us quickly into the programming, which is into a number five, actually. They moved us through the annuity on purpose because they know that if people have knowledge of self and know yourself, and you're able to influence people with your mind without even really touching them or physically even being there with them, but you're able to influence them, this represents a powerful mind and annuity. And this is what they fear. So they took us out of that and moved us into the number five, wanting us to be more connected with our senses, our five senses. And they locked us into this five sense reality, is what I'll go into next. So, as always, stay vigilant. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Airtime is low, time is low. Thank you for listening and watching. Namaste.